Elizabeth. I'm one of our USGs for General Assemblies, and I will let Elena, the chair of HGA 1946, introduce herself.
Hi guys, like Elizabeth said, I am the chair of this year's HGA committee, and that's the Historical GA committee. So I am a sophomore right now. I'm in the business school and I'm studying finance operations, and I'm also doing math. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. I guess outside of school, I'm pretty involved in, I'm in a consulting club here on campus, and I'm also in student government, and in my free time, I really like doing ice skating back at the Penn rink.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your committee and why you're excited about it?
Yeah, sure. So having done a lot of GAs myself, like competing and stuff, I thought it was really cool that I was able to chair a committee, the Historical GA. So this is the first ever General Assembly committee to be ever formed, and you're going to be taking place as delegates in 1946. So this is right after World War II, and you're coming together and you're figuring out important issues like what's happening to war criminals, how is the power going to be divided between different nations, and I think this is going to be a great opportunity for you to really divide up and shape history the way that you want to see it. We obviously, as your chair and moderator, don't want it to be shaped exactly as history has been done, so don't feel like you have to repeat history. Instead, be creative, be innovative, and have fun with it.
Advice for the delegates?
Yeah, sure. So one thing I think would be very important is to look up, exactly what your country's stance is like. Especially back then, like looking up like the Soviet Union, or say if you're the United States, who are the important leaders of your country and what do they feel about the different topics that we're going to discuss. Secondly is to come into committee with a fresh mind. Like I mentioned before, we don't want history to repeat itself. So work with the countries that you believe are going to help your stance the most, but don't feel like you're limited to those boundaries at all.
So what was the funniest moment that you've had in Model UN?
Yeah, sure. So my first conference was in 8th grade, and back then I knew absolutely nothing about Model UN. So I stepped into this committee, and I think it was Saturday session where we had to do voting procedure. And I got really confused. I thought we were doing attendance for some reason. So when they came around doing a roll call vote to see whether you would, say like yes or no for like voting on this particular working paper, they called my country, and I ended up saying present instead of saying yes or no for the paper. So that was my lesson learned. From now on, I don't do that anymore in conference.
And one last question, what's your favorite part about Penn?
What I love most about Penn is that it has a campus, but you also get the Philly experience. I'm a really big foodie, so I love going downtown and going to the different restaurants. And like I always tell my friends from other universities, like Philly is kind of a city where you get that same experience in food that you get in New York, but with like college student acceptable prices. So I love going downtown and trying out new restaurants in my free time.